Mr. Primetime.
Got some football news. What's up?
Football news.
About time, right?
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. You ain't definitely not kidding. Rocking that Let's Talk Jets tank top there, looking very nice, man.
Dude, I haven't taken this thing off in like 3 days.
I love it. It's my favorite
I watched
one.
it once, but gave me 2 of them, so I appreciate it. This is all I've been rocking.
I love that shirt, man. The basketball jersey is nice too. A little bit tighter, but I like the basketball jersey too. It's pretty cool.
I haven't put that one on yet. I'm too in love with this one.
So we have some practices in the books. We got a lot of analysis and recaps and everything else.
We have some more breaking news too. I don't know if you noticed.
I don't. What is it?
Not only did the New York Jets use one of my tweets on their YouTube video,
Mm-hmm.
but Woody Johnson in his video, I'm sure you noticed this. Who were the pair of legs that were walking into Florham Park? 2 of the first 3. You and me.
There we go.
I think we're back. So we're back.
What's up, everybody? Jordan, definitely appreciate that. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Nick? Yeah, Vincent. What's up, Jared? Yeah, we did primetime. I did my second film review. I'm going into I'm studying tape. I'm actually giving analysis now.
That was quite the breakdown. I forgot how hysterical that shit was.
You know, it's funny because a couple of people where I train at, they watch our channel, which is funny but awkward at times.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, bro, how did you feel when that was all going down? I'm like, dude, I was mortified. I'm like, this guy, I'm glad it wasn't like projectile right, like on screen. Like at least he ducked down to do it.
I was a little nervous for his well-being. I'm like, is he actually okay? Like, is he gonna be all right? Is he gonna make it through like the rest of the stream? Like, are we gonna have to like call an ambulance? Like, what the hell's going on? But I'm glad he's all right.
Funny, man. What's up, everybody? What's up, Afram? So we got plenty to talk about. We got the practices that were, we Primetime attended 2. I attended 1. They're going full pads tomorrow. We had the practice on Saturday, which hopefully we can meet a lot of you. A lot of people have been reaching out to us, in email and direct messages. Yep. We'll both be there on Saturday, weather permitting. And I'm curious to see how they do this with the tailgating because the Rutherford market goes on there. So the parking lots are open, dude. And the market's open till 4. So in theory, we could drive up and park at like 3 and start to practice at 6?
Might want to keep that on the DL, but yeah, dude, as soon as we can get in there, I'm down to start.
It's going to be open. It's not, they're not charging for parking, so I'm curious to see how they're going to handle that. But once we figure out a plan, we're all going to be there. Beer, food, whatever else. Are you bringing a grill, or are you just going to bring sandwiches?
I can bring a grill if you want to tailgate. Like, do it for real,
dude. I can grill. I have no problem doing that. So
keep it basic though: burgers, dogs, sausage. Not too much more than that.
So we got lots of news. You got the NBA free agency going on right now.
What the hell are the Knicks doing? Fournier, 4 years, $78 million.
I think it's only really 3, but
all right,
it's still a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting. Good shooter. They need shooting.
I don't mind the Rose deal, but that one was a little.
I like the Alec Burks too. I liked him too, man. Some of these guys were clutch. Nolan Norrell's, whatever the fuck his name is.
Noel.
Yeah, but he was good too. Like, those guys are like character guys, leadership guys, effort guys. The system, like they all make sense. Even Rose, man, like you had to bring him back. He was probably their best player in the playoffs for most part.
Rose, Rose I like. Noel, I was a little on the fence about just because, Mitchell Robinson, if he's healthy, I mean, he's probably your starting center. And I feel like Noel got a little bit exposed in the playoff series with Atlanta. So,
yeah. So, we'll see
how major contracts.
We'll let it all play out first before they, you never know what to do with the Knicks. So I guess what we could do prime time is we can just go recap some of the stuff we saw in practice. Oh, well, first of all, how was moshing prime time? How was your Rise Against concert prime time?
Concert was fucking awesome, man. Thank you for bringing me out. Yeah, that was a fun time, man. I love like a good crowd, good energy like that, and that was pretty awesome. So yeah, it wasn't as, like I said, like on the video I did, it wasn't like as heavy as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't like just like the kind of like screaming, angry kind of music that I kind of thought it was going to be. It was a little different, so I liked it.
I'm breaking you in slowly, man. We're gonna go to like punk rock, like old school punk rock, The Descendants. They got Rise Against, a little more upbeat, and then we progress to a little bit heavier and heavier as you go along. So that's how we do it.
So like what's like the heaviest shit that you've seen?
Oh, dude, Kill Switch Engage, Slipknot, they're heavy, man. System of a Down. I've been to some festivals where there's been some like crazy screamo, like wild shit going on. Like Ozfest has over the years had some crazy stuff. But I like that kind of stuff. I like angry stuff. But he said, Primetime was a trooper, man. He was into it. He was dancing around. He's like, at one point, he's getting ready to go moshing himself. So
I was ready for it, but I was a little bit nervous because I just did chest that day. So I felt like if I ran into anybody, I might hurt somebody. I was like, I don't want to deal with that. So it's like I might as well just sit in the background, let everybody do their thing.
Yeah. So no, they're not super heavy, but I had to break them in slowly. I don't want to overwhelm them right off the bat. You know what I mean? So let's see. What's up, Jose? Thank you to everybody. Tried to reach out to us on Saturday. Saturday was pretty crowded at practice and prime time. Once we got in our seats, we kind of really didn't move that much. So we apologize for everybody we didn't catch up with. And then right after practice, we had a bolt because we had to get down the shore. So we didn't really stick around that long.
And sorry to everyone with the comments. I know you're experiencing the same shit. Like,
yeah.
I've been trying to answer comments all day. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they get deleted. So I don't know what's going on with that. That's a YouTube issue, I think. So sorry for that.
Yeah, my last 2 videos, I answered every comment. I logged back in later on. All the comments were gone. I'm like, fuck, I'll go answer them again because I want to make sure that everybody understands we're acknowledging them and we're trying to respond. But yeah, I'm not sure what the fuck's going on. Yeah. What's up, Devontae? What's up, Armand? What's we got here? Heard the backup quarterbacks and cornerbacks are showing some promise. You guys still think we need Foles? Not as much as the Colts do.
Ain't that true? Was it 5 to 12 weeks for once?
Yep. I'll give you my impressions with the quarterbacks. You've seen more than I have so far, but I've never seen Morgan play before. I had never seen really either one of these guys really play before. So it's like, all right, your first impression of Morgan was good arm, good mobility. He made some nice throws. And then the day we were there, I didn't think Mike White played that well at all. I thought he was kind of piss poor, to be honest with you. But I was like, all right, it's so hard right now because there wasn't a lot of team drills and they're not in pads. So when you're in pads, the competition heats up and your windows are a lot smaller. So the throws they're making now, a lot of times, to be honest with you, some of the big time throws we saw, they would have been sacked. So the play would have never happened to begin with. Secondly, they're not in pads and there's not a lot of intense competition where they're fighting for the ball. You put pads on, dude, the receivers and corners start going at it. The safeties start going at it. Linebackers get more aggressive. The whole tone of practice, the whole demeanor of everything changes. Not saying they're not being competitive now, but initially I was like, wow, Morgan's got a pretty good arm. Like I was pleasantly surprised.
And not just that. I mean, usually the defense in the first week is always ahead of the offense. I mean, maybe that's just our experience as Jet fans where we don't really have a whole lot on offense. But I mean, more often than not, usually the defense for the first week is always miles ahead because it's more of, their job to just go and attack while the offense is still trying to develop some chemistry and get on the same page, learn the playbook and everything. But for Morgan, I mean, he's been impressive. Morgan's been very impressive. Obviously, we didn't get to see him the year prior. There was no training camp, no preseason that we got to attend. But as far as arm strength, like you said, mobility, I didn't realize he was that mobile. The way he got outside the pocket sometimes, still had some zip on the ball. I think he's looked pretty good. So he's going to get every opportunity to, I think, earn that job. But as far as Mike White goes, I mean, haven't really seen much from him to warrant a roster spot.
Yeah, so there's a lot going into this. The defense is going to be light years ahead of the offense. First of all, Wilson missed 2 practices, which matters. Secondly, Salah's defense is very based. It's very basic. And he keeps saying that. He's like, they're going to play the same thing over and over. He wants these guys to be all instinct, man. Just instinct and go and don't think, just attack. And just
John Franklin Myers said that today. I mean, it was night and day compared to last year where there was kind of like read and react, whereas this year it's pin your ears back and just go.
Yep. So, he wants everybody going forward, everybody attacking. So he goes, just because of that, the defense ahead of the offense, and it's going to take a week or 2 for the offense to just get used to what the hell's going on. Then they get more comfortable, and then they get in sync with and then they know how to attack and everything else. So, I mean, right now it's like I'm not anointing Morgan number 2 or what. I'm not anointing nobody anything until we start seeing in preseason games, live practices, hitting and everything else. There's a long way to go here, man. Like, I understand that everybody's excited about guys are on the field, this and that, and we're anointing guys at a Pro Bowl, and this guy is great, this player is elite, this is that. They haven't even fucking hit anybody yet. I respect excitement, but I understand everybody wants to chase. They want to get new follows on Twitter and they want to get the retweets and they want to be everybody's best friend and fan of the day and all stuff.
You said it, not me.
That's what it is. Everybody's chasing followers and shit. I can give a fuck about that. Just be honest about it. We don't know anything yet. They're not been intense practices and they're not in pads. And there's so much more to go to assume anything about anybody is just ridiculous. And that's even what Lawson and Beckham to me is fascinating because they're really competing very hard. But almost every analyst you talk to say, let's see him have pads on. Because right now the defensive line is completely disrupted, dude. They are running all over this offensive line. Because the offensive line has nothing to grab. They can't hold on. They can't be physical. It's kind of like, all right, once you can put your hands on a guy, kind of hold him and shake him up, throw him on the ground, do all these different things, the game changes. Right now, in the eyes of some, we have like 7 Pro Bowl receivers. No, let's let it all play out first. It's just, I respect the excitement. And let's be honest, with Zach Wilson, he's been okay. He's struggled a bit. Like everybody wants to highlight the one Elijah Moore touchdown pass.
I can't, dude. I can't tell you how many fucking articles I've seen already. Jets already know they've got their franchise. Like, dude, I mean, he's made some good throws. He's had some up and down practices. Like today was completely up and down. Team drills, he looked good. Red zone drills, not so good. Very hesitant with the football, holding on to it too long. Like this is what we expect. But like you said, dude, until the fucking pads come on, we don't know shit about anybody yet. Until the pads come on, that's when it gets real. So, I mean, it's fun to watch. It's fun to analyze things. But I'm like, let's keep it in perspective a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he had a great practice on Saturday. I'm like, what? like, how do we like? And I get it. Everybody wants to be excited. Everybody wants to be, like, I understand why everybody's doing this, but at least just keep it real, man. Like seriously. And I like Zach Wilson. I was impressed by his arm strength. The ball comes out of his hand ultra fast. I mean, he's mobile. Like a lot of things was as advertised. But let's understand where we are in the process. You're in the first week of training camp. You still have a ton more to go through, and there's gonna be a lot of highs and lows, and not everything's gonna be great. It's okay to say, you know what, he struggled today, or they struggled today, or they didn't play well today. It's okay to say that. Like we're allowed to do this. It's wild, man. Wild sometimes with some of this shit.
And so, again, like you said too, I mean, so much of it I think is just about trying to get those the likes and the retweets and everything else. You know, if you say something positive about Zach Wilson or Denzel Mims making a nice catch because you want him to do well, people are going to eat that shit up. But it doesn't necessarily make it reality. Like I'm watching the same practice as, everybody else. And Saturday I saw a bunch of tweets like Mekhi Becton doing a great job containing Carl Lawson all day. Like what? No, Carl Lawson was beating him like throughout the entire first half of practice.
He owned him to the point where he's getting visibly frustrated, dude. Like he was visibly getting annoyed.
That's what I'm saying. He was getting coached up after almost every play. So like that's false. Today, somebody tweeted out something. Denzel Mims working with the first team. I'm like, no, just because he caught a pass from Zach Wilson doesn't mean he was working with the first team. I was talking with somebody next to me. He was working special teams early on in practice as a fucking gunner. That's what he was doing early in practice. So, like, get your facts right if you're going to send shit out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. It's just funny, like, everybody, it is what it is. Listen, I'll tell you, we're just going to keep it real with you. And if you don't like us being real, then don't watch. I really can't help you because some of this shit's just ridiculous.
If you're just looking for all positivity, there's plenty of channels that'll give you that. If you're just looking for some confirmation bias on players that you like, plenty of channels will give you that. I'll tell you what I see, real and whatever's good, whatever's bad. Like I'm not gonna.
And the one thing, and we both talked about this even after the practice. Is like I've been going to practice since 1998, dude. I'm old as fucking dirt. I go back to the Parcells days, and I the intensity levels, and obviously with the CBA, a lot of things have changed now. So it's a lot of things you can and can't do in practice. You have your strength and conditioning recommendations, all these other things you want to do. But the practice that we went to together, dude, I was shocked. It was like a lot of position group drills, a lot of basics, fundamentals, not a lot of team drills. And not, it's like, I was shocked, dude.
Even today, they didn't start the team drills until 11. After that, they did a lot more team drills. But as far as like the intensity, like you were just talking about, didn't really hear Saleh yelling too much. Brant Boyer, not as loud as he normally is. Ulbrich, same kind of thing. Like it was a little bit more mellow than I kind of expected.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see, like, I know that you're going to on Wednesday, you're going again.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see once you get the pads on how this steps up. Like, I'm wondering if this is like they're slowly getting everybody acclimated. And then once things get going, they get going a little bit more because it's just a very, like, even like the one day, like they did no kickoff returns, no field goals, no punts. Like it was just like
kickers and punters today. Same thing. Not one kick, not one punt. It was all off the machine. Unless they're doing that after practice, before practice, not in front of the fans. I don't know, but there were no live special teams field goals or punts today. Yeah. Same as Saturday. So
I like Rise Against the Lot where they're phenomenal, man. I've seen them 3 times and they are they played for about 2 hours, all their hits, old ones, new ones. Phenomenal, man. Excellent. Got to go see them. Very, very good. So what we got here? Let's see. Yep. They come on tomorrow. Thank goodness. What's up, Carlos? Hey, Waffle. Everybody's
who's that? Tyrone's not here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think we're all about this. Here's a question for you. Wesco's progress, primetime.
I wish he had stood out a little bit more, to be honest. I mean, he hasn't really been out there a whole lot. Haven't really noticed him, which probably isn't a good thing. They've been using a lot of 2 tight end sets, and it's pretty much been who's it? Herndon, Griffin, and Croft kind of rotating in there with the first team with the 2 tight ends. So I don't know if that's good or bad for Wesco. Haven't really noticed him much at fullback at all. So we'll see as camp progresses if he gets in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I just tuned in, so Zach wasn't good today's primetime calling for a trade for Darnold.
let me just say this again. I genuinely don't care about Sam Darnold at this point. Zach Wilson's my quarterback. There's so many people that are just like so obsessed with Sam Darnold still. It's like the ex-girlfriend who's moved on, and you're 3 months later still checking her Instagram stories and everything, trying to find out who she's with, what she's doing. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm all about Zach Wilson now. But for today, I mean, like I said, in the team portion, not the red zone, I think Stamini said he was 6 of 10, had some nice throws, in particular, like the short throws, the ball just comes out of his hands so quick. You definitely noticed that. The zip on some sideline passes, it's phenomenal.
Yep.
His mobility, getting outside the pocket, buying some extra time, all that's good. Like all the intangibles, you see the confidence stripping off him. Love all that. But in the red zone, he looked like shit today. I'm just going to call it like it is. I mean, he did not look good. There was one play, he held on to the ball for like 5 or 6 seconds, lobbed it up for, I forget who was in the corner of the end zone, but Bless Austin picked it off. Before that, he threw one into double coverage. Mosley tipped it, almost picked it. So he just looked hesitant. There were some open receivers where he was just holding on to it way too long. Looked like he didn't trust what he saw, then kind of, pulled it back, tried to run around a little bit. It's all part of the learning process. I'm not, overreacting to it, but.
Yeah, and the one thing is he has instant chemistry with Elijah Moore. I mean, and Elijah Moore is, again, very early, and you want to see him in pads with like a more physical corner playing against him, but smooth route runner, super explosive, ultra confident, great hands. And it's like they have that instant chemistry, but so it was good because he had it, because, once Wilson drops back to throw, he's ripping the ball to Elijah Moore. But a couple times, we saw it on Saturday, dude, he didn't even look. It was like his first read, and that was it. And if he would have just looked just a little bit more, Corey Davis sitting in the end zone wide open to the point where Corey Davis jogged back and Mike LaFleur grabbed him right away. Because you could tell Corey Davis is like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm wide open. Like, it wasn't even. And they had to talk about it. Then they all talked about it. And then like after the practice, you saw Corey Davis and Wilson working on things. So he's, I know he wants to get his reads off, but you got to be able to scan the field, see other things out there too. And that's going to be a work in progress too, man. You got to learn your receivers, learn the routes, learn the offense.
Yep.
But Elijah Moore, he's pretty impressive early on.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing that chemistry with Moore. He looks like he belongs. There was one play where Zach Wilson bought some extra time, hit Moore over the middle. I think he had Bryce Hall draped all over him, still made an extending catch, which was nice. But yeah, the red zone was the only thing he really struggled with today, at least, from what I saw. Just, a little hesitant, a little unsure of what he was seeing. Some open receivers where if he just, got rid of it right away, it's an easy 5-7 yard completion. Instead, maybe he was trying to, look for a little more. He did go through his progressions on one play, found Herndon for a touchdown, which was nice. So it was up and down.
Who I was surprised about was Keelan Cole. He's bigger than I thought he was.
6'1", yeah.
Yeah, I always thought he was kind of like a Crowder type, a little bit smaller like Crowder. But he's smooth route runner, big hands. He's a pretty interesting player, man. Loves the fans. He's all about the fans. And but you look at the Jets wide receivers, man. Especially with Crowder, and they're doing a lot of different things with Crowder. End arounds and trying to get in the ball. They got 4 or 5 good legitimate receivers they can use as weapons. And then go ahead.
Well, I'd say that's why it's not a knock on Denzel Mims at all, but
Nope.
Keelan Cole, I mean, he kind of fits this offense, I think, maybe a little bit better as far as just being a pure route runner, yards after the catch type of guy, whereas Mims is that bigger body, contested catches, can go get the deep ball and things like that. So he's going to have to fight for those reps, man. It's not a knock on him or his game at all. It's just as far as the offense goes and what we have, 1 through 4 right now. Keelan Cole's been getting, some first team reps, and obviously Elijah Moore is going to be on the field. Crowder's going to be on the field. Corey Davis, you gave the big money to. He's going to be on the field. So Mims has got to earn those reps.
I didn't get a chance to read this yet, though. What I want to hear is he was like life threatening or something like that. And I used to be a big BJ Penn fan, but
he's been on a downward spiral.
He's been for years now, man. It's been terrible. What's up, Brian? I know Snoopy hasn't even been commenting on our videos either. Hope well, it's Snoopy.
Yep.
The running backs. He showed some explosiveness and like a good hands out of backfield. But again, when I was there on Saturday, dude, a lot of the running plays were stopped to the line of scrimmage. They really weren't getting out. Really weren't getting out in space.
Yeah, same thing today. I mean, I think on Saturday Foley had a few nice stops. Today Shepard had one that was nice. But yeah, I mean, like when they do have some extra time, you do see the cutback ability. Same thing with Tevin Coleman. I think he was a little bit shiftier than I thought he'd be. P. Ryan, he looked okay today. Did have one fumble. I think it was Nasruddin kind of just stripped it right out after a catch. So kind of hard to gauge the running backs too, especially without pads on. You don't really know, if that gain's going for 5 yards, 10 yards, where they're getting stopped at the line. It's hard to tell those things.
Yeah, a lot of times the play was stuck at the line, then the defensive lineman would let him go, then they would take off and run around a little bit. Yeah. Was there more of an unknown player you guys seen at practice that really impressed you? Some of the draft picks I'm surprised by, to be honest with you.
Trying to think of somebody today. There was a few guys where I was looking, I was like, who the hell is that as far as the number goes? I gotta check my notes.
Like Pinnock was surprised. I mean, some of the draft picks, there's bigger, good athletes. They had Michael Carter as the slot corner.
Kenny Yeboah today actually made some nice plays. A few good runs after the catch. Got to pull up the roster. There were some names that like I had never even heard of. Like they must have just like recently been added. Camp bodies. They were out there a little bit today making some plays.
Yep. So that was Primetime mentioned him. That was his first. Apparently, according to the reporters, too, it was his first practice where he kind of stuck out. Any corner stand out? Some of them were struggling, but
today was a better day. Yeah, Bryce Hall had some nice plays. Had one nice breakup. Even a few of the catches that Moore made, he was still sticking them pretty good. Bless Austin had the interception in the end zone. Saturday, Pinnock, he had the interception.
Yep.
Really nice play on a deflected ball. He was like on the ground, full extension, made the catch, got up, ran it back. So the corners have looked pretty decent, all in all, considered.
Dylan sat right in front of you today, Primetime. You say hi to him?
Did you? I was talking to a bunch of people today. So shout out to Steven in Long Island. I was talking to him for much of practice. A few other guys. Pretty cool.
Let's see what we got. Let's see, we got lots of questions here. We'll try to get through them all as best as we can. Well, new kickers, we don't know because we haven't seen them kick yet.
Dude, I have no idea.
Mosley looks, again, without pads, Mosley looks like just a whole different player, man. He looks so lean and just so much quicker, man, than what I remember seeing him as. He's like a whole different player at this point.
The linebackers in general, not just Mosley, but Nashville Dean, Sherwood, both those guys. I mean, just very fluid, very fast.
Jared Davis too.
Obviously, Davis didn't really notice as much as him today, but yeah, the other guys looking pretty good. Cashman didn't notice him much either, unfortunately.
But the defensive line, you had Rankins, you had Shepard, you have Foley. A lot of those guys in the middle, man, are doing some damage. But it's again, you just want to see, how that progresses once the pads come on. Yep. Let's see. I'm gonna try and tailgate you guys. Can I get a picture of you guys? Primetime loves pictures. He loves pictures, man.
Anytime.
Steve wants to get a picture with you too, so this is good.
I don't know about that.
Cameron Clark, you really didn't see a lot. I didn't see much with the offensive line. It's hard to really tell, man.
You saw him today throwing punches with Tanzel Smart. First training camp fight. They fucking score up too.
Did they?
Yeah, it was like, yo, it was like they had the fists up, they threw a few punches, and it was quickly done. So. Yeah, both those guys have looked good. Sherwood, he had a nice rush today. Probably would have been a sack. I think it was on Mike White, but I'm not positive about that. And Nashville Dean, yeah, he stuck Pirine on one catch out of the backfield, stripped the ball right out. So both those guys have looked pretty decent.
A Met question for you?
I want to know how you could draft somebody 10th overall without getting their medicals first.
I mean, everybody should know about the medicals, right? I mean, it should be public knowledge, isn't it? I mean, just doing some research.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
is that the reason why he was dropping in the draft, because of the medicals?
Apparently he wouldn't share his medicals. And then I guess after the process, they discovered, something else with his shoulder that they wanted to look into. He still wouldn't share the medicals. And so they felt it was more valuable to have the 11th pick next year than pay him that money, even though they pretty much based their entire draft as far as the money that they can allocate for the rest of the rounds off of what they were going to pay him by picking him 10th. So they completely fucked that up.
Hey, at least you said it. I'm just here. Let's see. This is the new kicker. I saw a kicker named Matt Amendola on Saturday. He was average and made most kicks from 30 to 40 range. Must have been at the practice. Okay. Impressed by anything thus far with training camp? I think the one thing is, like, this year, there's really no distractions, man. I mean, you had, like, in years past, you had all the Jamal Adams bullshit and all the Gase nonsense and Le'Veon Bell bullshit. There's really just, like, business. They're just all about business, man. They're all working out. They're doing stuff. I mean, impressed? I'm not really sure I'm impressed.
I was just going to say, it seems like already, I mean, I know it's very, very early, but it seems like there's a good kind of chemistry going on, like where these guys just enjoy being around each other.
There's no big egos.
Exactly. I don't know if you could say that as much in years past. Also, it's just a lot of young guys trying to prove themselves. So it's very businesslike. But you definitely sense a renewed kind of energy where we talked about a bunch of times last year, the year before with Gase. I think it was hard for those guys in the building to really get excited about that. Whereas this year, it's just it's a whole new vibe.
Yeah, a lot of these young guys like Vera Tucker, Moore, even Keelan Cole. I'm like, they have a little pop in their step, and like when you have all these young guys that are fighting for playing time, fighting for reps, all this stuff, they are all excited too, man. You're gonna get their best effort, a lot of energy, and they're all trying to impress because the coaching staff, it's a new coaching staff. So if you were here last year, it doesn't mean shit to them. You're earning your spot in the team, and the culture seems different. It's just a different vibe, very much happier. They're all like they're united. There's no big, strong, overpowering ego where it's like, oh, like even like Le'Veon Bell, like him or not, he was a big presence. He's like that's like right now. There's nothing about that surrounding the Jets right now, which is a good thing. Just let them all just grow together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling a lot of people are be getting Elijah Moore on their fantasy teams. He could be like those 70 catches a game kind of guy.
I don't know if he's going to be a big fantasy option, though, because, I mean, with all the Jets receivers, it just might be, like I said last week, like 4 guys that all have like 60 catches. I don't know if he's going to be like a 70 or 80 catch guy this year.
So we have a lot of questions about the wide receivers and how many. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Another one. The DeGrom injury came out. What are your thoughts about DeGrom?
Hopefully we're still in first by the time he comes back.
Okay.
Another 4 weeks.
What's up, Sasha? We got here. We are going to the season opener in Carolina. We're trying to figure it all out. We appreciate everybody's reaching out to us, trying to give us like hotel recommendations. We have an idea for a tailgate. If we put this together, it's probably going to piss some people off because it's, but it is what it is. We're trying to do its best for everybody. It includes having the ability to eat and drink unlimited without without a cash bar. So somehow we always get put in these spots prime time. I don't know how it is, but it's definitely gonna be a problem, but whatever. Yeah. Can't make everybody happy.
Nope.
So what else we got here? So the one thing about the wide receiver position, how many they're gonna keep. Well, I think Berrios is gonna have a lot of value to them. He's doing a lot of special teams, he's doing punt return, stuff like that. He's kind of versatile. I think if you say, do you think he's a lock, Berrios?
I wouldn't say a lock, but I definitely think he's the favorite right now to be the 6th. I think the top 5 are pretty much set. And then after that, I think Berrios has a leg up because of what he could do on special teams. But you still have other guys. I mean, Vincent Smith, he was making some plays today. He had a touchdown, from Zach Wilson at one point. He was also working as a gunner, one of their faster players. So I could definitely see him maybe carving out a spot. Lawrence Cager, he was somebody that they were pretty high on last year. Big target, undrafted free agent. So it's going to be some competition at the back end, but I definitely think Berrios is a favorite right now.
The D-line is consistent, man. They got a lot of talent, man. Yeah. Rankins, Shepard, Foley, Franklin Myers. I mean, they got big. Even
Myers looked good today.
Even like with Vinny Curry out, I mean, they're going to be. I mean, bringing back Quinnen, man. Supposedly he's on pace to come back in 2 weeks. That defensive line is going to be a force, man. Absolute force. Definitely exciting stuff there.
I don't even know if Curry's going to make it.
This is a guy that I'm glad you mentioned him today because I forgot all about him. He started to show up on Saturday a little bit. I'm like, great special teams guy, motivator, kind of a captain, definitely that kind of personality. But if he could play corner, man, that's a huge get for the Jets.
Yeah, he had another nice breakup today. I think on Saturday he had the breakup in the end zone on the last play. So, I mean, cornerback competition is wide open right now. So a guy like him who's physical, leader, I know he's only done it on special teams so far, but there's definitely going to be opportunities in the secondary for him.
Yeah, and the other thing that he's enormous, man. He is big, and then you look at Becton, you're like, Jesus Christ, like that's how big Becton is. But Morgan Moses is a big dude, man. He's definitely a physical presence. John Franklin Myers, a lot of people are very high on him, especially Brian Baldwin are very high on him. And he had a really good year last year. So now it's just like you figure when he's going to do less thinking and more attacking, that's going to make him a lot better. It's going to be fascinating, man.
Plus, the attention is going to be off him too. If Quinnen's doing his thing, Carl Lawson on the other side.
Yep,
can't double everybody.
So the one thing that I would think if there's a chance to make money, maybe did they do it last year? Did they sell beer last year? I don't think they did.
No,
I don't think so.
No, last year they didn't have a green and white, did they?
Or whatever, 2 years ago.
They didn't sell beer.
I don't think so. Good question. I think any way to make money, they'll probably do it. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Now we just got to get loaded in the parking lot.
I mean, that's never opposed to that either. The one thing, even Samini mentioned it, with the unfortunate passing of Greg Knapp, the Jets kind of have a void on their coaching staff. And it's a big one because you have your offensive staff is very young, very new to all the positions that they're in. Mike LaFleur, first-time coordinator, Calabrese, first-time quarterback coach. And Greg Knapp was going to be that veteran presence, that veteran mentor and leader and everything else for Zach Wilson. And it's a huge gap on and off the field and everything else. So my thought was it's going to be very hard to replace him, because every coaching staff is full. You got to almost, if you want to take somebody from somewhere else, you got to give him a promotion. So it's probably not going to happen. So you need somebody off the street, if at all. And I kept thinking, I'm like, if there was a time to get a Chad Pennington or a Josh McCown kind of guy, it'd be now, dude. Because to have that guy in Zach Wilson's ear could pay huge dividends. Because like I know they're really to delegate their responsibilities to guys that are already on the staff, which is fine, put more on their plate. But a lot of these guys, they're first time coaches. So it's like, man, if you could bring in just that little, the little voice in the ear of Zach Wilson, it couldn't hurt, dude.
I've been wanting Pennington to become some kind of offensive coach, quarterback coach for a very long time. I just don't think, if it was going to happen already, I think it would have. But I think this could be all the more reason to actually bring in, a guy like Foles or some kind of, veteran backup, less to, be an option to actually play and more just, to have somebody that could actually, work a little bit with Zach Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, yeah, they're not assigned seats. It's usually you walk in and you can just go wherever you just go. They open the gates and just sit wherever. But I just, I think now with the Colts situation, I think Foles, he's almost campaigned to go there. So not really sure what happens, but I wouldn't mind them trying to find the veteran guy to come in to add to the staff to kind of help Wilson a little bit. It's really important, man, especially now. So see what happens.
Hold on.
What happened?
So breaking news on this. Well, hold on. So how many likes are we at for tonight? I want to set a number. If we hit, let's say 150 by the end of the show, my buddy Devontae, I'm not going to take credit for this. He wrote a phenomenal Cassandra diss tape that I almost feel like I have to share with you guys.
What?
I almost feel like I have to share it because it's that good.
Why would Devontae do that? Does he have?
But let me finish though. So once he did that, I was like, all right, if he put this together in like 5 minutes, I got to sit my ass down and really start working on this Darnold shit. So I finally did yesterday. I want to say I got about 80% of the lyrics done. Now I'm kind of like working in some vocals and trying to get this thing legit. So within the next week, you will have some legit Sam Darnold rap on this channel. That's a guarantee. So I'm just letting you know.
But why would Devontae do that? But is there bad blood there or something?
I mean, maybe Cassandra's just making enemies. I don't know.
Okay, so you're in the final stages of your releasing your rap.
Yep, we are almost there. He inspired me.
There you go. So wait, so what are we gonna do with that Cassandra diss thing? What happens with that? It just stays in the archives?
Well, I was just gonna say, if we hit, let's say 150 likes by the end of the show, I'll read that one off tonight.
Wow. This is interesting. I don't even know. That's crazy. Not very much of rapping. So it's just this show, man. It never disappoints. I don't know how we get so sidetracked so quickly. I don't know how this happened. Everybody create alternate accounts. Oh, just so if you guys are going on Saturday, we look forward to meeting you. If you have any other questions or you want to know about any other players, Primetime could share his thoughts. The likes are going up. I'm not just
the people want it.
Yeah, I'm not really following. I know people kept tagging me when Darnold didn't play well today. I kept getting tagged in all like the tweets and shit like that. So I was like,
you also.
Yeah. But
Trevor Lawrence does like shit today also.
Yeah, he did. I saw that too. Yep. So yeah, I mean, Tyrone definitely does. That's for sure.
He shows up tomorrow.
He's more of an overseer, man. He kind of walks around.
I'm surprised by that.
He's very calm. He's very involved in everything, though. Like he doesn't stay in one position group too long. He's on offense, defense, special teams, moving around. The one thing I pointed out to you on Saturday was on defense when certain things weren't right, he'd walk up to Ulbrich and was like pointing out like this. Like he was all over it, dude. Yep. But he's very well versed in what's going on in the offense. Like when there's certain routes being run right by receivers. If somebody asks him a question about it, like he could talk about, oh, Elijah Moore's supposed to go this way, he went that way. Like with like Gase and Bowles, they really couldn't answer questions about the other side of the field. Solid nose, dude. He's pretty active, but he's quiet. Like he's not that. Yeah. He's not loud.
I almost get the sense like he's still a little bit nervous, like still trying to get a feel for everything. Doesn't want to like overstep or do anything like too crazy in the first week. I think you'll start seeing his personality come out like a little bit more in the next week or two. But yeah, I mean, the first week you didn't really like hear him too much. He wasn't yelling at anybody. He wasn't real vocal. Wasn't really rah. He did give the nice speech to the fans, which was nice. I appreciated that. But yeah, other than that, as far as like the 10 to 12 during practice, he was just kind of there, like you said, overseeing things.
I mean, he's definitely walking around talking to players and stuff. He's very active. He's all over the place. He's fully engaged, but it's just he's definitely an overseer. He's just checking things out and But I'm sure once like the pads come on and like there's big mistakes and turnovers and all this other stuff, then we'll see maybe a different personality. Let's see, Alex Lewis.
I want to say it was Van Roten that was still getting the first team reps at right guard. I think it was Cameron Clark a little bit after that with Feeney. I haven't really noticed Lewis. I got to start paying attention to the right guard battle a little more.
So here's one for you, prime time.
All right, so Mims, he caught one pass from Zach Wilson. And to be clear, also, Zach Wilson, at one point, he was working with pretty much exclusively like the 2s and 3s and not like a demotion for Wilson, just to get, I think, the other guys an opportunity to work with him. But yeah, Mims, he was doing some special teams work early in practice as a gunner, which I thought was a little bit surprising. Normally, your top wide receivers aren't doing that. So if you want to read into that, I mean, feel free. I don't know if it means anything or not. And then as far as team drills go, the first time he got out there was with the third team. So,
yep. He's got a rough road ahead of him, I think. Yeah. Even though it's the same division, I think. Good.
He did make a nice catch though along the sideline at one point. So give him some credit for that with Zach Wilson out there.
I think Minshew is the guy the Colts are trading for. That'd be a bold one. That'd be definitely interesting.
Wouldn't be a bad move.
Yep. I like Minshew just because you guys, this is primetime started this shit. I'm staying out of this. I'm just trying to go over the training camp stuff and trying to think of other points that we were thinking about that we saw. Wide receivers, tight ends, that was good that Hearn is starting to come on today. But they asked Saleh about him, and you could tell he didn't really offer too much. Basically, he was saying he's got to be a lot more consistent. Yeah, which was interesting.
I'll say it looks like he had a little bit of muscle to him, though.
Yeah, well, that's good. Hey, it can't hurt.
In years past, it seemed like he kind of had the wide receiver body type. Now he's actually looking a little bit more like a tight end. Had 2 touchdowns today, one in the back of the end zone, nice little toe tap.
I did hear about this, but this is pretty much a publicity stunt. They've been doing this for a while.
Right?
Yeah, and the person that's releasing that story has kind of got an agenda too. Because a very good friend of mine is all a diehard, crazy psychopath Bills fan. I got all the inside scoop, and it's just a lot of clickbait bullshit right there. Blake Bortles prime time. He's got some ties.
I think I'll pass.
Okay.
Especially with the way Morgan's playing right now. If you're going to bring in somebody like Foles, that'd be one thing, but Bortles,
I promoted this stream at training camp. A number of people promised to check it out. Well, thank you. Awesome. We appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
We're kind of at the outcast, so we need all the help we can get at this point.
I think it was Lauren's comment also. She wore our Jets shirt to training camp. She was hoping that somebody would confront her and try and toss her out or something.
We both wore all our shit too. We're fine.
Yeah, nobody had a problem.
And again, we apologize to anybody we didn't get a chance to say hi to because we were just getting the hell out of there, singing down the shore. So, but on Saturday, the green and white we'll be around before the game, hanging out. So if you want to meet up and hang out, let us know. Let's see. Do you see us making the playoffs next year?
Let's see how this year goes first.
Yeah, I want to enjoy this year for real.
As long as this year ends around somewhere between like 7-8 wins, you're competing against better teams. Zach Wilson makes progress. I would think next year you should be competing for a playoff spot.
Realistically, how many games do you see us winning this year? I'm still staying with my 6 to 7 games, and that's
7 to 9. 7 to 9.
But even at that, so just say 7 wins, dude. Based on where we were last year, that's an enormous step forward. You know what I mean? That's like look where we were last year. We were one of the worst teams in football, with arguably one of the worst rosters in football. To come out and win 6-7 games this year is a big step.
But, I mean, you would agree, though, Gase's first year when they won 7 games, that wasn't impressive by any means, right? So I think it also depends, like, how do you look during the wins? How do you look during the losses? Are you getting blown out? Or are you competitive? So you got to go game by game, I think, and just see how they're actually playing.
But, yeah, you could win 6 games, look like shit. You could win 6 games and see, like, the offense is really going to become something. Zach Wilson's improving week in and week out. Like, there's rhyme or reason what the hell they're doing. So let's see. What do you guys think about a 10 to win 110 on Zach Wilson Rookie of the Year?
It's not a bad bet. I mean, with what were the reports today? That Garoppolo is probably going to start week 1. Yep. Trevor Lawrence is a little rusty right now.
Supposedly Trey Lance had a great practice or something like that.
Yeah.
And then what's his face? Who the hell was it? I think it was Lewis Riddick was talking about how good Justin Fields has been so far early on.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Oops.
Yeah. Fields is the one I haven't really heard about too much.
I heard Tony Danza was at Jets camp.
Oh, I missed. Damn it. Would have liked to have met Tony.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for Fields. I liked him. I don't like the way he was treated and how people kind of just, turned on him so quickly. So I'd like to see him play well. I have no problem with him.
He's got a nice chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he's a good kid too, man.
Yep.
Jets have never had a player win Rookie of the Year. That would be awesome.
What if Elijah Moore wins it? Let him go off.
But it's so funny. Like now, like Trevor Lawrence has one like rough practice. Like, oh, he's a bust and this and that. It's like it's so early in camp, man. Like let's just get through the preseason. Let's keep this team healthy and everything else. Also, I don't know how you got that video with the fans yelling at Wilson, but it was hilarious. It was embarrassing, man. What the hell are they doing?
At least he had like a sense of humor about it. You know, he was laughing, he was smiling as he was coming on the field. See, that's one of the veteran moves of actually being on the sidelines for so long. You know when to have your camera ready when something funny's about to happen or something.
You did a great job today with your reports, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Of course.
Been there quite a bit.
Let's see. Jimmy G, very confident he's not going to lose his starting spot to Trey Lance.
He'll start the year. I don't know if he's going to finish it starter, though.
Any other players you guys want to talk about? Yeah, some of these segments are pretty bad. The Jets 2-minute drill segments with Ethan Greenberg and are bland and terrible. I wish they would put you guys on there.
I haven't watched it, so
you're not missing much, man. No. Some of them are pretty bad, man. I start watching. I'm like, this is what I'm like. Oh,
is that like the 40-yard stroll that they used to do, where they would walk like two yards a second and shit?
Some of this shit, but then the Jets PR is doing a really good job with a lot of stuff, but some of they force some of the content. And it's just not natural. It's just not good. Yeah, I mean, the kicking situation, we haven't seen him, so we couldn't even tell you. Right tackle, Morgan Moses. Well, Fant's been out because of COVID, so he's not even really practicing. So
he got cleared though, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember him tweeting he's back.
What's we got here? What else we got? Is there a player you thought you'd see a lot but didn't? That's a good question.
It's a real good one. As far as guys just like that I haven't noticed at all.
The kickers.
Well, that Gerard Davis, I mean, I haven't noticed him like one way or another getting beat or making a play. He's been like just quiet.
It was that Dawkins guy we kept seeing. What was it? Noah Dawkins?
Noah Dawkins. Yeah, that was one name.
I was like, is that Davis? Like, no, it's Dawkins again.
Yeah.
Vera Tucker's a beast, man. He is a big, athletic dude, fiery dude, but you want to see more of, like, you want to see the pads on, man. Like, I keep saying it, like, you really can't see a lot. The way they're handling practices, you can't really see a lot right now what's going on. If anything, defensive line is having a field day.
Yeah, the one thing with Vera Tucker, you notice, like, his athletic ability, especially today, like, on some of the quick bubble screens, like him, Becton, just getting to the outside, leading the way, like, that shit's going to be, like, a staple of this offense. Almost like the old school Jets, like, with Mawai and all those guys, like, I think what we're going back to.
Let's see. Fire Moose and Mac. I don't know if I could do a 4-hour show without cursing. It'd be really difficult. Especially like a Jet loss. Forget it.
Carton and Roberts, they curse.
Yeah, they do. They do all kinds of shit now.
I think WFAN would bring us on. Could be the midday.
One thing I'll give the Jets, the restrooms they had to field were and they're it was pretty well organized, man. Everything was clean. You know, they have the shop, they have games for the kids, they have the buses, everything's walking around. You know, it's
buses were good, right?
Buses were fascinating, but they had a ton of staff there, man. There's people everywhere you look to help give people, you know, water or whatever.
Today the buses were a fucking fiasco.
Were they?
They didn't show up until like 9:23. Then we finally get there, and like all the people with the scanners to scan you in, like they're all scrambling to try and get everyone scanned as quick as possible to let them through the gate. And probably by about 20 people, like that's when it was time to like start letting the entire line in. And they only got through 20 people, and like nobody was actually getting scanned. Like the things weren't working at all. They're like, oh, you might have to scan inside now. I'm like, thankfully, whoever was behind me, like he scanned my ticket in because mine wasn't working. It was a complete shit show.
Well.
Yeah.
Yes, well, definitely. I'll reach out to Ed for sure. I forgot about that. Let's see what else we got here. When do you think Carter takes over as RB running back 1? It's probably too early to tell. Coleman's actually looks a little bit faster than I thought he was going to be honest with you. The couple of things we saw, he's got that nice little burst. He's a little faster, definitely faster than I thought he was going to be.
I think it'll take Carter a little bit. I think, like you said, Tevin Coleman will probably get the start early on, more so like for blitz pickup. As the veteran, he's seen a lot more. But as the year goes on, it wouldn't shock me at all if Carter's the number one back.
I want another offensive line upgrade before week 1. What are the chances?
Where though?
Yeah, where do you want it?
McGovern's not going anywhere, and I think you have enough competition at
Left
right
side's
guard
fine
right now.
Yep,
yeah.
Right tackle's all set.
Unless like nobody steps up at right guard. I mean, that would maybe be the one spot you'd look to add somebody.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. Were there any former Jets on the sidelines?
Did not notice anybody.
What's up, Hugh?
I noticed Leon Washington still waving around the broom with the special teams drills.
Yeah, cool. McGovern's at center.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got here. Have you seen Jonathan Marshall in practice yet?
I haven't noticed him at all. He's gonna have a tough time making the roster too, with Foley and Shepard in front of him, plus Rankins.
I did. Did you ever go to eat at Wayne Corbett's restaurant when training camp was at Hofstra? I did. It was good. It was very good. Let's see. A lot of these questions is so early, man. Who will be the cornerback in your eyes? I mean, right now it's like they have, Bless Austin, Bryce Hall, and Michael Carter, the 3 starters in theory until all this competition plays out.
Yeah, right now it's been Hall and Bless on the outsides with Carter in the slot. I know Javelin Guidry, he's also been working a little bit in the slot. Pinnock, he's gotten some reps on the outside. He's made some plays. I think Isaiah Dunn will probably factor into that at some point. Justin Hardy, same thing.
This is why you can't wait to see them in pads, also preseason games too. Well, you just kind of just want to start seeing these live action, see who, this is where it makes or breaks you. Everybody, it's like any, it's even like a martial arts. You could look good shadow boxing, but when you start sparring, what happens? When even the contact actually happens. So same thing
once
with
you take a punch, what happens?
Yep. Once you get cracked a couple times, when you catch a pass, do you get alligator arms? Do you keep fighting through it? The running backs, do you drag the defender, or do you, all those things are gonna play out within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, Eccles is another one. Isaiah Dunn. There's so many different guys. Pinnock. It's interesting, man. It's exciting though. There's a lot of competition, a very good energy, a very good vibe. One of the preseason games, will it be on TV? Probably not in Canada.
14th, right?
Yep. Yeah, 14th, 14th, 21st, and 27th or something like that.
Sounds right.
We are awful prime time at right guard. How do we know that a week in the training camp?
I don't know if I'd say they're awful. I think Van Roten and Lewis, I mean, they're okay. They're veterans. Cameron Clark, I'd like to see what he could do.
It's a new scheme too, man. We don't even know. It's a whole new scheme. You don't know how these guys could like we talked about this last week. It's like McGovern loves this scheme. It's like this actually fits his skill set. They're excited to play it. Van Roten said the same thing.
And no matter what, right guard is going to be the weak link, but at the same time, if McGovern actually steps up and let's just say Moses, he claims the right tackle spot and he's doing his thing, you have 2 solid options, sandwiched in between that right guard. Much better situation than you were in last year.
What's up, man? Let's see what we got here. Where's a good Cam Clark? He's out to Ashton Davis is out to week 2.
Yep.
Apparently he was doing some jogging today, but he's out. So
you wonder if that means was it Hassel? He might make it.
What is the most effective way to deal with Pat fans that are living in the past? A buddy of mine is coming to the Carolina game with me. Just ignore him, man. just tell me if you live in the past, you stay in the past. You gotta live in the present. In the present right now, they don't know who their quarterback is. So we're fine. Let's see. And apparently, what's-his-face had a good practice today, Tua. So that's interesting down in Miami.
Saw that.
That's the one. That's the one really good thing. There's a couple that beat Omar Kelly. You may love him or hate him. He's blatantly honest when it comes to the Dolphins. So if Tua's playing like shit, he says it. When he says somebody's playing pretty well, he's not lying to you. So that's a good day for Tua. So
it's not good.
Where's Clark been playing? Tackle or guard?
Guard.
Do you still think we sign a veteran quarterback? I'm still holding out hope, but now this Carson Wentz injury makes things very interesting. What do the Colts do?
I think the James Morgan resurgence makes things a little bit more interesting.
I mean, resurgence. I mean, this is where we're at now.
I mean,
I know you're in his fan club, dude. I know you are. There's
hold
certain
on.
players that
Last year, you were there for the reaction when we drafted him. Did I want anything to do with James Morgan?
Nope.
Okay. During the season, did I want to see him at all? No. I didn't want anything to do with James Morgan. But now that we're forced to, actually watch him work a little bit with the 2s and the 3s, I'm coming in with an open mind. And so far, through 2 days at practice, he's impressed me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Dylan. I'm completely with you. Resurgence, he says.
I came in with an open mind this year, and through 2 practices, he's given me nothing really to criticize yet. No stupid passes, no interceptions. I'm like, all right, he's doing his job. He looks like a quarterback right now.
Are we still selling the tanks? We depending on what size you are, we have probably about 8 or 9 left. We got a ton of t-shirts. So send us a message what size you're looking for. I could probably help you out. We took them off the site because it's so hard to say. We only have one small, one medium, one large. It's just easier to do it this way. So if you want one, just send us a talkjetsradio@gmail.com. The Primetime's marketing one right there. I love that one. It came out nice.
It's my favorite one.
Yep. No, it came out really nice. We already have a veteran quarterback, Jamison Crowder, who was better than Darnold last year. I mean, he had some big time throws, so that was always good. Chances of Primetime getting a Morgan shirt to add to this collection of bad jerseys? That's a very good question.
I'm not getting anybody. I'm not going to put any bad juju on anybody this year. I'm wearing the Let's Talk Jets stuff. Staying away from players. I
think Primetime pulled a Hugh and fell asleep after we drafted Morgan. That was still funny, Hugh. I still never forget that.
A bag of wine.
And the fact that we left him on the stream was even better. Oh shit.
Classic Let's Talk Jets.
Any predictions on notable training camp cuts the Jets can pounce on? Not yet.
I haven't studied other rosters enough. I've just been so locked in on what the Jets are doing. I haven't looked at other teams enough yet.
You also got it right because right now all you can monitor is training camp reports. There's no preseason games to watch where those surprise cuts come when an undrafted guy or some random free agent or a rookie just takes off and makes somebody replaceable. So that's kind of when you start getting a feel for who can get cut and surprise cuts.
I do think they will bring in somebody at corner, though. I mean, it's hard to imagine that there's going to be 4 or 5 guys that all step up, that all warrant playing time. So I think one veteran corner is probably going to get brought in.
How does Joyner look? He was playing alongside Marcus May.
Yeah, he actually looked pretty decent today. Had one nice stop on a screen pass to Carter, stuffed him for a loss. There was no gain right at the line of scrimmage. So other than that, haven't really noticed him getting beat at all.
Saleh loves him, dude. So. He praises him all the time, man. He loves that player.
Much better fit at safety, I think.
Yep. When are the sleeveless hoodies coming?
Waiting for those.
These friggin' tank tops gave me friggin' heartburn for a week with all the shit I had to deal with. I'm sticking to t-shirts, man. They're much easier to deal with. Holy shit.
You want me to try to come up with a sleeveless hoodie?
No.
When
was the last time you guys got a jersey?
Darnold. I got once the Jets new uniforms came out, I got my Jamal Adams in white, and then I got my Sam in black, and I got another one of Sam in green. Yeah.
Yep.
So much for that.
I mean, if I was telling you on Saturday, if Carl Lawson signed the 5-year deal, I would have bought his jersey. But I think a lot of fans are going to be buying the Elijah Moore. They're going to be buying the Vera Tuckers. You saw a shitload of Wilson jerseys at the practice, but that's interesting. Your jerseys are tough. I feel like the jerseys are always a jinx now. It seems like I have a closet full of jerseys that are useless.
Every time I would buy a jersey, I mean, Pennington. As soon as I got him, he broke his hand. As soon as I got Vilma, they traded him. As soon as I got Santana Moss, they traded him. It's at some point you just learn to stay away.
Let's see. Will P. Ryan make the team?
I'm so torn on that. I want him to. I'm rooting for him, but I still think Ty Johnson probably has a leg up right now. Unless they keep 4 running backs, then I think he would make it. But if they only go with 3, I'm not sure.
Let's see. Anyone play fantasy football here? I'm sure everybody here plays fantasy football. Let's see. Herndon was quiet up until today, I think, right? Today was his first day. He kind of peeked out a little bit.
Yeah, today was the first time he looked pretty good. 2 touchdowns. One, like I said, in the back of the end zone, had a nice extension on the grab, had a good toe tap to get his feet in. So he looked pretty good today.
This was thank you very much, Joseph. We appreciate that. This was an interesting Morgan Moses looked like he got beat pretty bad in the one deep pass to Elijah Moore. He also held pretty bad. Penalties is what made DC fans.
Was he the one that got beat? Because like I said that to you right when Wilson threw the pass and before it blew up on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, on the NFL Sunday in a real game, whoever that defender was that got in there is lighting up Zach Wilson, and he's not making that throw.
Yep.
So obviously, in practice he's got the red shirt on, so he was able to step up, make the throw.
And that was the one thing we had a couple Washington football fans reach out to us and tell us, listen, Morgan Moses is a good player, but he was prone to penalties, like pre-snap penalties and holding penalties. That was the one thing. Consistent, stayed healthy, but he was
penalty prone. They say he's better against the run than the pass, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Which should be good for us. We're probably going to be a little bit more ground and pound this year.
The defensive line cuts are going to be really interesting, man, because they have a lot of talented players, man. They're all very active. They're all very physical. I mean, that's going to be some really, really tough cuts there for sure.
Well, that's why I keep thinking Vinny Curry's going to get cut. I mean, how many times in the past did the Jets have that veteran player that was kind of like a fringe roster guy? They cut him knowing, that after week 1, they can bring him back, pay him week by week, knowing that Curry's already going to be out for week 1. I almost feel like that makes sense. You got a lot of young guys between Huff and Zuniga, Kyle Phillips. You want to see these guys a little bit. I think they're probably going to make the roster early on, and then maybe you bring back Curry after that.
Wesco's being used everywhere, man. Tight end, fullback, they're going to use him all over the place. They talked about it in the last 2 press conferences, how versatile he is.
Yep. I haven't really noticed him at fullback, though.
Nope. The way Lawson is dominating Becton, are you guys concerned about Becton being the real deal? Nope. I think this is awesome.
Not yet.
Iron sharpens iron, man. This is exactly what his kid needs, man, because when you we talked about this, no disrespect to Jordan Jenkins, but if he can manhandle Jordan Jenkins week in and week out, he's not being challenged. He's kind of just thinking that he's okay where he's at and he's content and he's not really developing. When you're getting this much pressure from this many guys, you have to improve. You have no choice. Furthermore, when you put pads on, it also changes. He has a lot more to grab. It gets a lot more physical. He can use his size and strength more than he can right now. So I think it's excellent. It's good for both of them, man. It's a good challenge for both of them.
You know what immediately I thought of after the last couple of tees, watching the Lawson and Becton battles, going back to 2015 with Darrell Reeves and Brandon Marshall.
Yep.
When you have 2 guys that are just absolute dogs going at it, up against each other day in, day out in practice, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. It's not an indictment on the guy that loses, but you just acknowledge that you have 2 great players that are going at it. They're making each other better. And, day in and day out, somebody's going to lose the matchup and somebody's going to win it. You just hope at the end of it, each guy's getting better. I think that's what's happening.
Yep. I definitely agree. Let's see. I think Curry or Shepard gets cut. Nathan Shepard's getting a lot of run right now, man. He's in there. He's in the rotation. A lot of times he's with the first string, and right after that, the second string. He's coming there. They're rotating him in. I think they like him, so I wouldn't be so sure about that. Let's see. I would hate to see Curry get cut. Well, right now he's not practicing, so
hey, he's out until week 2 right now.
Yep. Actually, stone sharpens iron. Come on, man.
Good point. He's right, though.
Don't know why anyone talks about the lines before pads come on. Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, they asked Saleh about it today, where, it's like the defensive line is really getting after it, but they, offensive lines they're kind of against it right now because they can't do a lot. So it's one more tomorrow. Tomorrow you start finding out a lot more about things with this team.
That's why I can't wait for Wednesday to be there.
Yeah, I may take off work and go.
Do it.
I may have to.
Do it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Becton is learning against a world-class edge rusher. That can only be a plus. Yeah, and it's also a good challenge for Lawson, too. A big physical presence like that. He's got to keep working and finding ways. He's a smaller guy, using his speed. Any word on Zuniga and or Clark? Already we're talking bust? A week into camp.
I think people were talking bust about Zuniga last year, though.
Yeah, I think we were. Because he wasn't active all year.
Exactly. He was getting some work out there with the second team today. I mean, didn't really make any plays or anything.
Yeah, it's so early right now. We're all so anxious to get information, but there's just so much different. I'm not so sure about the Jets keeping Boyer. The O-line under him showed real sloppiness, lack of work and coordination. The O-line?
Talking special teams? Boyer?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not really sure what that means. Let's see what else we got here. I'm trying to think of any other players.
I'm trying to think if there's another Boyer that I'm missing.
No, I mean, isn't Benton the line coach?
Yeah, John Benton.
What else? Either of you want to join my fantasy league? Got 5 spots left.
I'm in.
Does Legend go to Jets camp? I think I'm going to bring Legend on Saturday. He's going to come to the tailgate and hang out with us. He's due. He's been complaining down there. He's pissed that Primetime took his spot all the time now. Now Primetime's making videos and shits. I can't find a way to kind of incorporate Legend more. And he's really pissed about it. So
where's Tyrone's videos?
Yeah, it's just yeah. I think Tyrone got a taste of the hostility that happens on this stream. I think now he's probably reevaluating things. Let's see what we got here.
Waiting for that shotgun tomorrow night.
Can't wait for that. Hardy is actually playing corner well. That's a positive, man. That's high effort, high energy guy, quality, like a locker room leader. That's a good thing.
Very physical too. Like it seems like he brings that special teams mindset with him in the secondary, which is good. Gets his hands on guys. Physical.
Trey Lance lights up training camp. Jimmy G gets cut, and the Jets pick him up. Quarterback vet problem solved.
Jimmy G gets cut?
I don't think he gets cut. I'm curious to see what the Colts do now, man, because they are in deep shit. Yeah. Absolute deep shit. Here's a good question. Will we see consistent betting videos? Oh, right,
yes,
then.
Absolutely we will.
Is there a schedule for them? Like, what day can we expect them?
Well, usually most of the lines, or at least the injury reports, are released by Friday. That way, it's easier to kind of go.
Oh, it's gonna be just football betting
for the most part.
No more baseball and UFC. We're done with those.
UFC I could still do.
Okay.
The UFC betting could be Saturday. The football lines will be done probably by Friday. If there's anything else, I could always throw it in during the week.
Crowder looked like the same old Crowder on Saturday. They were moving him all over the place. He looked just like he's in peak shape.
Had one really nice screen pass today. Took it about 30 yards after the catch.
And Elijah Moore is just the star. Everybody loves him. He has that personality, the swagger, just the splash plays. He's as advertised, man. I mean, Cashman is rocking. This is why Primetime likes Cashman. You know why? Because he goes sleeveless.
Shows the guns off. Yeah.
He's always showing his arms like that, and then then he misses tackles. That's what he does.
He didn't miss any tackles.
Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's kind of been the rumor all over the place, man. That Foles and the Colts. Is Tyrone coming in all dark and gloomy tomorrow? We'll see. He may be. He's probably reevaluating everything after last week's stream. Do you think the Jets can have a top 10 or top 15 offensive line in prime time?
Ooh, top 15, yeah.
That's a big step up compared to where they were.
I mean, I think it all centers around just Becton staying healthy. If he does that, I'm pretty confident Vera Tucker is at least going to be decent as a rookie. You like his athletic ability. I think he's going to help you in the run game. I think McGovern, like you said before, with the scheme change, I think that's going to help him a lot. And you obviously upgraded at right tackle. You got nice competition there with Fant and Moses. So I think they should be pretty good.
Tyrone was not prepared for last Tuesday. And we warned him.
No,
but I mean, how do you go from like a random, like a very easy call-in show where you're not on camera, so you can basically do whatever you want, like off camera. But now you're on camera when somebody's puking into a garbage pail, and then you waffle on a take and the stream, and then the chat attacks you. Yep. And when we warned him, I said, listen, it's always fun when everybody's on your side. Yep. But when the stream goes against you, it's fucking very difficult. And Tyrone was not prepared. He was completely overwhelmed.
He was still in call-in mode. That was the problem.
Yeah, he was not prepared for that. It takes getting used to. YouTube was definitely it is a rough time.
Yep.
Looked up an Airbnb in Belmar. It's a fortune for one night. Bro, what do you expect? It's the middle of summertime, man. It's going to be expensive now. It's the Jersey Shore.
Just stay with Tyson.
Sure got a room for you. Why not? Fuck it. Why not? Let's do that. What can go wrong there? Excellent video breakdown. See, let's see that prime time. Second video breakdown. I'm going to be doing another one very shortly.
Of who?
This channel, man.
I think after Tyrone shotgun, you might have to do one.
Yep, definitely. Oh, absolutely. Win or good or bad. Yes, he is alive. He actually called back in. He was fine. He's ready to go. So he's all healthy, thank goodness.
I was a little nervous.
Are we ever going to do a Titanic movie stream? We have to do that. We still got to do our bad memorabilia stream too. Didn't do that either.
So much shit piling up.
Yep.
least I'm not the only one.
If the Colts need a quarterback, they can always call about Morgan. Yeah, they can have him today.
Give me a first round pick. It's the only way I'm trading him.
Let's see. What else we got here? Any more questions about where is Ghost Pepper tonight? Well, tonight we're just kind of hanging out. So as Vincent is puking, Tyson asking about his thoughts on Zach Wilson. It's just, you know how hard it is to try to moderate something like that. Like, all right, he's puking. What do we? Then you're like, is he done? Is he gonna keep going? Is there more to do? Like, how do we get through this? It's, I don't know.
And is there any coming too?
Oh yeah, I could see it. Yeah. If you watch the breakdown, his second sip of beer, you knew something was wrong because he's like, all right, this isn't going down the way I thought it was. Let's see. How much annual is a decent salary to live in New Jersey recently? It's expensive, man. New Jersey is very, very expensive. Yeah, it depends on what part of the state you live in, but the cost of living in New Jersey is just skyrocketing, man. The housing market is just way off the charts. Let's see. Nobody knows where Snoopy is. We got to go find him. Primetime, thoughts on the Cam Clark fight?
It was quick. Him and Smart threw a few punches, quickly broken up. They were doing the next play probably about 15 seconds later, so it wasn't like a huge thing.
Film breakdown was, thank you. Appreciate that. Tyrone wondering why this random guy just came on the stream and ate a pepper, then started playing music. I think Tyrone was just surprised we had somebody playing guitar. He's like, what the hell is going on here? This isn't a football show.
He clearly showed that he didn't watch our live streams for the past year.
Definitely did not watch. He always said he did. Like, oh, that show last night was great. You didn't watch it, dude.
No.
He lied to us.
Nope.
Do you watch the Olympics? Doncic kills Germany at the moment. I haven't watched any. I watched some of the gymnastics. I tried to watch the boxing, but it's on the weirdest times at night.
Speaking of Doncic, if you've seen on Twitter, search up hookah Doncic.
I saw that when he smokes and goes back.
He smokes a little hookah and then goes out there, steals a pass, goes up for the layup. I'm like, holy shit. That was impressive.
Yeah, Michael K is he's taking over the Francesa show at Bar A. So he's doing a Friday show at Bar A on the 20th. Yep.
You should go.
You can go. It's always a good time. It's all it is, dude. It's about 500 dudes drinking beer and just looking at a stage with him on there. Depends on who his musical guest was, because
never mind.
Francesa used to have Big Shot, the Billy Joel tribute band. They were really good. They would play like other cover songs too. They were always entertaining. He had Bernie Williams one time playing like guitar, which is cool. Depends on who their guests are, man. Because it's, other than that, just a bunch of dudes standing around drinking beer, staring at each other. What's we got here? You guys had to watch the women's rugby Olympics? I'd down to watch that.
I was watching water polo on Saturday night before we went to the concert, so I'll watch anything for the Olympics.
That's right. We were watching water polo. Oh, shit. What we got here? Yeah, I mean, New York, New Jersey taxes are ridiculous. Yeah. A cooking show with ghost peppers, primetime?
Ooh, could do that.
It's a good idea.
We got to get back to the cooking.
Yeah, Southside Johnny you had as well. Yeah, Francesa used to have some pretty good musical guests. Let's see what we got here. I would love Damian Lillard, man. I would love that. I don't see it happening, but
please stop comparing that shit to Stephon Marbury. Completely different.
And I don't want Melo back either, to be honest with you. I do not want Carmelo back with the Knicks. I don't.
Off the bench, I wouldn't mind him. Good scorer, 15, 20 points a game.
Come on, man.
That's what we said about Derrick Rose last year. Said the same thing.
We've already went through this Melo experience, man.
And we went through the Derrick Rose experience too. And second time around with a better coach, look what happened. I like Melo. Put him in a reserve role off the bench. Same thing with Derrick Rose. That's instant offense.
This is an interesting question. Are you guys worried that Murphy's going to put restrictions in again that will affect opening day? There's been talk of lockdowns. And to be completely transparent with you guys, one of the challenges that we're having right now with looking at tickets to Carolina is like we're on StubHub looking at tickets. And if anything happens to the game, you don't get your money back. You get like a StubHub credit. So if you buy 3 or 4 tickets and you're throwing out $1,000, then you get $1,000 StubHub credit, which I really have no fucking use for. Yeah. So we're trying to figure out how to handle all that. But I mean, the NFL is big business. And right now, New Jersey is doing okay in terms of it's just I don't think they're going to put restrictions on it. I mean, what would they possibly do? I mean, I don't think they're going to outdoor activities are usually pretty good with. It's usually the indoor stuff is a problem. If anything, I think slowly but surely they're trying to do mask mandates and stuff, but I don't think I think the games will probably still go on at this point. What do you think?
I hope so, but honestly, at this point, I mean, I have no idea what to expect. It seems like every week, something's
I mean,
changing.
if you can allow
out.
Lollapalooza, how's a football game gonna be a problem?
Well,
You
the shit
know,
that we were at Saturday night. I mean.
it's just it's funny to like, yeah, I'm just.
I'm at the point where it's like, just go live, man. I can't think about this shit anymore. Like, just go live.
But I think the NFL is big business, man. There's so many, not only like the stadiums, but all the employees, all the sponsorships, everything. There's so much money involved in that I think it's going to take a really, really lot to have them start like making it like taking the fans out of the stands.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of places are bringing them back, unfortunately. So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. Unfortunately.
Yep.
We have not talked Yankees yet. I don't know. Apparently, they were losing before I came on here, but Rizzo's been a godsend.
I'll give you guys some credit, actually. I mean, that Rizzo move is looking good. You guys have a better record than the Mets right now, so slowly turning it around.
Yep. Let's see.
Still probably won't make the playoffs, though. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole thing over here with the COVID and all the different things going on. It's definitely an interesting time to see what happens with everything. And that's the kind of thing you worry about with just getting the tickets to the game and booking hotels and shit. It's like, man, like, so I was checking out the way it is in North Carolina, how their cases are, and it's not good there either. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. So we got to figure out what we're going to do with that. Let's see. Absolutely, man. Excellent. Now we're trying to figure out if we should go see Limp Bizkit on Friday night because
I'm in.
Dude, the weird thing is, go watch Limp Bizkit live from Lollapalooza. He killed it, dude.
I saw some of the highlights. He looked.
Dude, watch it. It's an hour set. He was phenomenal. They sound like West Borland sounded like he did 20 years ago. They sounded excellent. It's just you got to take the Rise Against atmosphere, which was pretty mellow. This is completely different, dude. This is just it's a different vibe, man. Really? This is Limp just Bizkit? Chaos. People jumping around and just
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, dude. Watch Lollapalooza, dude. Watch Lollapalooza. The whole. I'll send you the link. I watched it already. He's doing this on purpose, man. He's. This is what he's doing, man. It's called Dad Vibes. He released a new song called Dad Vibes. He's doing this all on purpose. He's kind of mocking people and trolling people. But
that I didn't know.
Yep, Guns N' Roses are at MetLife, which I wanted to go to, but unfortunately I can't make it, which sucks. And it's not sold out either, which is kind of crazy. And then what you call it?
See, now that I got my first taste, I'm like, when's the next? Like, let me know.
We got Limp Bizkit Friday, got Shinedown on Monday. We got delayed. We had to do the Monday stream like Tuesday because Shinedown.
We could do the Monday stream while watching Shinedown.
You could do that. I'll be busy jumping around.
All right. I'll film you. I'll film you and answer questions at the same time.
Could you imagine? I have not seen this, but I heard it was very good though.
I heard about that too, actually. Yeah.
I remember watching it, but
Boomer and Gio were talking about it when I was in the car one morning. Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi is a better band based on what? What are we comparing here? It's just heavy metal band and just a rock band. I like Bon Jovi. I've seen Bon Jovi several times. He's good, but Guns N' Roses is a different animal. I'm pissed I can't go to that, to be honest with you. Let's see.
I used to love when the Jets would play Welcome to the Jungle as the players were running out, like late 90s. That was always the intro song.
I can't wait for Shinedown. I've seen them like 10 times. The other thing, too, is like you got to watch with all these outside concerts. The first thing I don't really buy tickets like the last week. I checked the weather report because the Guns N' Roses concert looks like it's going to rain for it, too, which makes the concert a lot more interesting.
I want to go to this.
Dude, the tickets are going to be so expensive. But what a fight that is. Chandler and Gagey is going to be a war, man. And Usman Covington.
I've never been to a live UFC event, so I'd love to go.
Awesome. The thing about the UFC fights, to be completely honest with you, is you don't want floor seats because if you sit like the cage is up here, and if you're on the floor, you're kind of looking up. So when the fight actually goes to the ground, you really can't see it. You want to sit the level above the floor, so you're looking down into the cage, and that's your best view of that. And then you can see everything that goes on. So It's actually, it's a different, like everybody wants to be close to the cage. Yeah. Unless you're within the first like 10 rows, you're better off going one level up so you can see either cage level or above it to see in. It's definitely a lot different. But that Madison Square Garden, and there's a couple other guys I know that are going to be on that card too that they haven't announced yet. It's going to be good, man. They got Corey Anderson's fighting. I think it's October they announced him. He's fighting Bader. Yeah. Can't wait for that. Big fight for him. What else we got here? But I like Bon Jovi, but you can't really compare Bon Jovi and Guns N' Roses. I mean, they're two completely different animals.
Different genres.
Yeah. Let's see. Any other questions you guys have for us?
I love how Cassandra's taking over the chat with like talk about her hair and her outfits. I'm like, what are we doing here?
It's just, like, I don't know either.
Thanks for blocking me. I appreciate it. I don't have to see that stuff anymore. Jesus Christ.
Is there any other players that we didn't cover that we had to cover? I'm trying to think. Quarterbacks, running backs, offensive linemen, tight ends.
Anything notable, I think I tweeted out. So check the Talk Jets radio page. It's all
on defense. Yeah, I mean, Guns N' Roses, I saw them a couple times. They're phenomenal, man. Loud as shit, but they're really good. And I'm trying to think. Where's the diss track? I guess I don't know how many likes we got, so I don't think we made
that.
At
well, I gotta check it. If we're at 150,
name one heavy metal band you have yet to see but want to. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Do they qualify as heavy metal?
I'd love to see Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I've never seen them. 102 likes, prime time. We didn't get the 150.
Damn it. All right, so maybe tomorrow night then.
And then we got, let's see, do a couple more here. Did anyone see Mosley at practice? We all saw him.
We did.
He looked lean and mean and a lot quicker.
Very fast.
Do you really like Wesco and Cashman just because of McCagnon?
Has nothing to do with McCagnon. If it was all about McCagnon, I'd still be on the Chuma Edoga train and the Chris Herndon train. It's not about McCagnon. It's about those guys really not being on the field and getting any opportunities yet. Cashman, his own fault for being injured. Wesco, more just because we never had a coach that utilized him right. So I want to get them an opportunity.
Do you think we need more help at corner? I think it's early, but I think
probably.
Yep. I think we're going to say yes to that. But the one really good thing, though, to be honest with you, is that having these 5 or 6 very good receivers, these guys are learning trial by fire, man. They're being tested day in and day out. So these young corners are learning a lot. You know what I mean? You're going against, just say, Cole and Crowder and Davis, and like these veteran guys are taking them to school, and that's a good thing. They're going to get better every day, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, I mean, how many groups of wideouts early in the season are we going to see that are probably better than what we actually have?
Probably not many, man.
Not a problem that we're used to having. So
nope. All right, and I think with that, we'll wrap this up, Primetime. So we'll be back tomorrow night, and then that's it. We'll see what happens. Then we got the practice on Saturday. So once we find out what's going on with the tailgating, we'll let everybody know so we can all tailgate and have some beers and have some laughs. So we will talk to you guys later.
Have a good night.